Tonight feels quiet, but this is not peace. This is containment. This is the kind of silence that only exists when something has already gone wrong and the people in control are desperately trying to keep everyone calm long enough to finish moving what's left. While most of the world is asleep, trusting glowing screens and comforting headlines, the global financial system is slipping past the point of no return. This is Black Sunday, and by the time markets open tomorrow morning, the world will not be operating under the same rules it believed in tonight. You were taught that silver is boring, a slow industrial metal, something that doesn't matter. That belief was not an accident. It was engineered, because silver is not just another commodity. It is the pressure point of the entire financial system, and tonight that pressure has become unbearable. Behind closed doors in London and New York, emergency meetings are happening inside the largest bullion banks on Earth. Not to plan gains, not to manage risk, but to answer one impossible question. How do you deliver metal that no longer exists? The physical silver is gone. Not delayed, not temporarily unavailable. Gone. Drained quietly over years while the public was encouraged to buy paper promises instead of real metal. Digital claims multiplied endlessly, stacking illusion on top of illusion, until hundreds of people believe they own the same single ounce of silver. A system that only works as long as no one asks for delivery. And tonight, too many people are asking. This is the end of the paper manipulation era. For decades, digital accounting tricks and coordinated price suppression hid the truth. But physical reality has limits. You cannot print silver. You cannot conjure it with algorithms. And you cannot settle physical demand with paper excuses forever. That breaking point has arrived. When markets open tomorrow, the public will slowly realize something feels wrong. Orders won't fill. Premiums will explode. Dealers will delay, then disappear. The price on the screen will still exist, but it will mean nothing, because the real market has already moved on without permission. The losses buried inside the system are no longer theoretical. Hundreds of billions of dollars in unrealized losses are now colliding with a historic physical shortage. A shortage so severe that the exchanges themselves are no longer capable of fulfilling delivery. This is not volatility. This is insolvency. The insiders know it. That's why they're panicking. That's why the wealthiest players exited long ago. They don't hold ETFs. They don't trust unallocated accounts. They don't believe in digital promises. They hold physical metal quietly, while the public was trained to chase numbers on a screen. You were never meant to win this system. You were meant to trust it, to provide liquidity, to hold paper while real assets were transferred behind the scenes, to stay distracted while the exit doors quietly closed. This is why bail-in laws exist. This is why emergency powers were written years ago. Because when a systemic failure happens, deposits are no longer protected. They are absorbed, converted, used to save institutions, not people. Your money becomes their lifeline. And the trigger for that failure is already here. A real silver price would expose everything. Bank insolvency, currency weakness, the scale of leverage holding the system together with hope and denial. That is why silver was suppressed. Not because it was unimportant, but because it was too important to be allowed to speak. Every rise in silver is a loss of confidence in paper. Every spike is a warning. And tonight, that warning is breaking free. In Asia, physical premiums have already detached from Western prices. Buyers are paying whatever it takes because they understand the truth. Availability is the price. Once that understanding spreads globally, the scramble becomes uncontrollable. Silver is not just money. It is infrastructure. Without it, the modern world stops functioning. Energy systems fail. Electronics stall. Defense technology collapses. And control of that supply has quietly shifted east. China and the BRICS nations have spent months outbidding the West for every available ounce of physical metal, using the West's own paper markets and currencies against it. This was not an accident. This was financial warfare. While politicians argued and media distracted, strategic reserves were emptied. Vaults were stripped. And tonight, the consequences are unavoidable. When industrial users realize they cannot secure the silver they need to keep factories running, they will pay any price. When they can't get it, production halts. Supply chains snap, and panic spreads far beyond metals into every asset class connected to the real economy. Trading halts will be called stability measures. Access restrictions will be framed as protection. Silence will be justified as responsibility. But the reality will be simple. The system promised something it could not deliver. History has seen this cycle before. Every paper currency eventually returns to zero. Every time. The only difference now is scale. This is global, synchronized, and happening in a world built entirely on digital trust and fragile supply chains. When that trust breaks, it breaks everywhere at once. Black Sunday is not about silver alone. Silver is simply the crack where the entire structure gives way. The weak joint. The place where reality forces itself into view faster than anyone can contain it. Tomorrow morning, everything will look normal at first. Screens will turn on. Prices will move. Experts will talk. But something will already be missing. Confidence. The belief that those numbers represent something real. Once that belief is gone, it never comes back. Those who prepared will not panic. They already understood that real wealth does not require permission. It cannot be frozen, deleted, or inflated away overnight. It does not depend on a server staying online or a rule not changing. Those who did not prepare will ask how this happened so fast. But it didn't happen fast. It happened quietly, over years. And tonight is simply the moment the silence ends. Black Sunday is the line between illusion and reality, between digital comfort and physical truth, between trusting a system and taking responsibility for your own future. There will be no announcement declaring the end. No alarm, no confession, just shortages, delays, premiums, disbelief, then panic. And by the time certainty arrives, choice will already be gone. This is the final window where denial still feels safe, where preparation still feels optional, where the old rules appear intact. They are not. The reset does not ask permission. It does not wait for consensus. It simply happens, and only those holding something real are not forced to react. This is Black Sunday, and the system you trusted is about to prove it was never designed to save you.